Most people believe motivation is the thing they're missing. They believe that if they could just stay motivated longer or feel inspired more consistently, their progress would finally stick. So they search for motivation. They watch motivational videos. They listen to podcasts. They save quotes. And for a moment, it works. They feel focused. They feel capable. They feel certain. But then something happens. Life interrupts. Energy drops. Confidence wavers. And motivation fades. That's when people assume something is wrong with them. But motivation isn't the problem. Motivation was never designed to be reliable. Motivation is emotional. And emotions change constantly. Think about how your energy feels on a good day compared to a bad one. Think about how confident you feel after a win versus after a setback. Think about how different your decisions feel depending on sleep, stress, or pressure. If progress depends on those conditions, it will always be inconsistent. That's why motivation feels powerful, but never permanent. It creates short bursts of movement, but it doesn't create direction. Systems do. A system doesn't care how you feel today. It doesn't care if you're confident. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if yesterday went well or not. A system simply defines what happens next. That's why systems feel boring to most people. They don't create excitement. They don't feel inspiring. They don't give you an emotional high. And that's exactly why they work. Most people avoid systems because they confuse excitement with effectiveness. They want something that feels like progress instead of something that quietly produces it. Think about how routines work in real life. Traffic systems don't depend on motivation. Schedules don't depend on emotion. Infrastructure doesn't pause because someone doesn't feel ready. They function because they were designed to. When you rely on motivation, every day starts with a decision. Should I do this today? Is this the right time? Do I feel ready? Do I have enough energy? Those questions feel harmless, but they slowly drain momentum. That's called decision fatigue. Systems remove that. You don't negotiate with a system. You don't debate it. You don't ask how you feel. You follow it. That's why people with systems appear disciplined, even when they aren't. Consistency isn't a personality trait. It's a structural outcome. Most people don't fail permanently. They fail temporarily, over and over again. They start something. They get excited. They make progress. Then motivation fades. Then they stop. Then they restart with something else. What looks like inconsistency is often just the absence of structure. Systems prevent restarts. People who build systems don't look motivated. They don't talk constantly about grinding. They don't announce every move. They don't chase hype. They just keep moving forward. Quietly. That isn't luck. That's design. Wealth doesn't respond to emotion. Income doesn't scale because you felt inspired one week. Results compound because actions were repeated when motivation was gone. That's why systems matter. Not as a concept, not as a buzzword, but as a foundation. Instead of asking how to stay motivated, ask how to build something that works even when motivation disappears. Once you ask that question, everything changes. You stop chasing feelings. You stop relying on willpower. You stop starting over. And you start designing. If this perspective resonates, it probably means motivation was never the real obstacle. Structure was. There's a free training linked below that explains this framework step by step, calmly and clearly. No hype. No pressure. Watch it when you're ready. Iwasan.